Ralph and Kelly Biaze, owners of Titan Restoration. They specialize in turning worthless into worthy. With the right team and the right tools, they can make old cars better than new.
So I'm here today at City of Angels Boxing Gym to meet my friend Claude. He's got a project for me he wants to talk about. So I'm gonna go inside and see what he's got for me.
Hey, Ralph. How are you, buddy?
Hi, my name's Claude Staton Jr., AKA Claudie Boy. I'm an undefeated professional boxer, and I know Ralph from many years ago. He worked on a lot of my cars.
So what are you training for?
So my last fight was 6 weeks ago, so now the next fight is gonna be in October. Preferably, I think, Miami, Florida.
Yeah?
Well, he did a lot of celebrities' cars. I looked him up. His reviews was awesome. And he was just a really nice guy when I met him. So I said, you know what? He seems honest and genuine. In the car business, you can meet a lot of snakes. So he was a really genuine guy.
So I was thinking, Ralph, 1927 and 1930, Ford Track T.
You want a Track T Roadster. It's a good power to weight ratio.
I think so, just like me. Light but nimble, strong but fast.
I wasn't sure what it was, but apparently he wants a 27 Track T. Fun, interesting car. It's kind of not what I expected him to ask for. It's usually, can you build me a Mercedes, or what do you think about this Lamborghini, or something a little more exotic? I'm kind of happy that he's going this direction because it's really a little bit of a departure from what he would normally do.
Can you find it?
Yeah, let me do a little searching. I'll find you one.
Okay.
How quickly do you need it?
Sooner than later.
All right.
Summer's almost over.
I'll find you one.
I was thinking about a Track T because it has a lot of history. They're older, old school, and retro's in. So Ralph was definitely the guy because he's a car connoisseur. So that's why I went towards Ralph. So make this car a knockout for me, please. Like this.
This is almost a 100-year-old car. It's not going to be that easy to find. True, they made a lot of them, but not very many of them exist in complete condition anymore. It's not rusted out, that's got the original frame, it's titled 27 to 32 Ford, so that's not quite that easy to find.
Ralph is definitely the guy for the job. I think he can do it, and I'm excited and can't wait to see what he comes up with.
You ready to see it?
Yes, I'm ready, I'm ready. Yeah.
What do you think?
This is something like what I was talking about. This is it.
You asked for a 27. This one's a 1927. I had to get this one out of Oregon.
Okay.
But I still got the Oregon plates.
You know what? I reached out to Ralph because I wanted an old school, cool car that could take up the PCH. And why not a 1927?
We're definitely gonna have to do the interior.
Yeah, I don't think those colors are gonna work.
I don't think so either.
My thought is that we get rid of the buckets and
Okay.
we just put a continuous bench seat across.
Okay.
You mentioned that you liked a particular green.
British racing green. But make sure the rims match the green.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we can repaint the wheels to
Okay.
match the body. It's already got a good platform for us to start with. It's a little rough, it needs paint, it needs interior, it needs a lot of attention to detail to get it to what Claude wants. But I think we can get it there, and I think we've got a good car to start with. Why don't you sit in it, see what you think?
Let's see. All right. Oh, we're gonna get rid of this knob, right?
Yeah, we can do away with that.
What? What are we gonna do with this?
That's just to clean that one spot.
Well, it doesn't rain out here in Southern California, so I
Yeah,
won't need
this
it.
is really just a novelty thing. And if you're driving this in the rain, you got bigger problems.
I have bigger problems, right. This is amazing. I like it, man. Are you gonna work your magic?
Yeah.
Okay. And I did research For 1927, this car is fast.
It's about power to weight ratio. You know,
Right.
you don't need a lot of horsepower if you're light on your feet.
I think that the main reason I like the 1927 Track T Ford is because it's small, it's fast, it's strong, and it's nimble, like me in the ring.
I'm excited. Let's get to work.
Cool. I'll call you when it's ready.
Sounds good. Thank you, man. Always a pleasure.
No problem.
All right.
The Ford Track T Roadster represents the birth of the hot rod. It was based off the 1915 to 1927 Ford Model T. The Model T is generally regarded as the first affordable automobile and was mass-produced on an assembly line, a pivotal innovation in car manufacturing. Several restorations of the Model T were created by car enthusiasts, including the T-Bucket and the Track T. The original Ford Model T was powered by a 2.9-liter four-cylinder engine. It made about 20 horsepower and had a top speed between 40 and 45 miles per hour. A common engine swap is to replace the four-cylinder with a much larger Ford or Chevy V8. Drivetrain and brake modifications are necessary to accommodate for the added power. Radiators must also be swapped out to cool those giant engines. In 1927, and largely in part because of the economic production by Ford, the Model T cost $360. Adjusting for inflation, $360 in 1927 would be approximately $5,200 today. However, the Track T is a highly customized vehicle, and costs widely vary depending on the parts and labor associated with it.
I invited Nick Smith to take a look at the 27 Track T that we're building for Claude Stanton Jr.
So what do you got today?
I have a 1927 Track T.
What?
1927 Track T
Oh
Ford.
my lord. All right, let's have a look. My name's Nick Smith and I work for Worldwide Auctioneers, appraising cars for ready for auction. I've known Ralph for about 20 years and seen some of the restorations he's done over time. He called me out today for a 1927 T-Bucket hot rod thing that is so far out of his wheelhouse, I don't even know where this thing came from. Well, again, something out of your wheelhouse. Tell me about it.
Well, we got this for a client. He's a professional boxer, and he always wanted a Track T. Don't ask me why. It's a correct Ford 27 frame. It has a later model 49 Ford engine in it, but it's a stock engine. It's a little tired. Interior's a little tired. Primered paint job. You know, this is what it is.
So at the moment, that car is just a culmination of parts, but it's a combination of very good parts. It's got a 27 frame, it's got a nice flathead V8 Ford in it. This is all kind of hot rod go-to stuff. This is the benchmark of a decent hot rod of that style. What's the plan for the car?
Well, it's going to get painted. The stock engine that's in it isn't going to do the job, so we're going to have to go to like a fully polished, something really over the top. He wants it to shine, he wants it to make a lot of noise. He wants to be the center of attention when he drives his car.
So I got to ask what color it's going to go.
He gave me the okay to do a British Racing Green.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought you'd like the British Racing
Roadster
Green.
as God intended, love it. It's so hard to value a hot rod because it depends on the minutest of details. So as a culmination of parts, I see it probably in about the $15,000 to $18,000 range. End point is down to 30, 40, 50 grand for something just nicely presented. This one could be a very, very expensive build if you went all the way. Can't wait to see it. Going to need to look at it very carefully when we're done. Good luck with it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to see it.
Oh no, you're welcome. This thing's crazy. This one I do want to go for a drive in when we're done.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be
nothing
fun.
I grew up with, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
The two-seater body tub and frame are some of the few parts shared with the actual Model T. The original Model T came with a 3-speed transmission, low speed, high speed, and reverse. Ralph is restoring a 1927 Ford Track T for a client that is looking for something lightweight, fast, and flashy. They are starting off with a base that has been partially restored in the past, but needs a lot of work cosmetically and mechanically.
The track T. This is one of our out-of-the-box fun projects, huh?
Yeah. Well, every once in a while, we get to have a little bit of fun. So I have an idea. Bill Jaganow at Brothers Custom has a little bit of time in his schedule, and I've asked him if he could come out and help us with this one. So he's agreed to it already.
Oh,
And,
that's a plus, because he's
so
just one of the best engine builders
He's the best
for
flathead
track
guy
Ts.
in the country. I'm not going to spare any expense. We're going to put the best Navarro racing heads and the best components in the engine, and we're using a really good guy that's the absolute authority on flathead Fords. He said that the Navarro racing heads, big bore crank, the cams, all that stuff is available.
Yes.
We just have to write a check for it. It comes out to a very round number.
What is that?
Exactly $15,000. We have a $25,000 budget to build this car. $15,000 of that's going to go right to Bill Jaganow for the engine. She's going to flip out when she realizes that the engine being, 2/3 of the budget.
What is this car going to be worth?
Well, we're not done with just the engine. We still have to do interior.
I understand. The interior is like 5 pieces, okay? That's,
Are you kidding me? This is distressed leather. One hide of this
yes.
is what it costs for normally 3 hides.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
It's a $15,000 car. What is this worth when it's done?
It depends on what you put in it.
You're spending $40,000 easy.
No, I'm not.
So what's our budget?
Well, we'll get to that.
Ralph doesn't want to tell me the budget on this one. I keep asking him because he just wants to spend. So I just want to make sure he doesn't go nuts and just spends all the money.
So you need to make sure, I know you like to go off on these projects, you need to make sure that you really hold back a little bit.
Okay.
Because this can get way out of control.
We had a $40,000 budget for this build. We spent $15,000 of it just buying the car. So we only got $25,000 left to finish the build.
So have fun, just make sure that the value's there.
So we'll try and keep the budget under 40 grand.
We will keep the budget under 40 grand, because
All right.
I will stop you.
Okay.
Okay? All right, let's go.
Nick Smith gave us a pretty broad number as far as appraising the car when it's done. So we just know that we need to be north of 40,000, otherwise we're in trouble.
Ralph and Kelly are spending $25,000 to restore and upgrade the Track T. It will get an overhauled flathead Ford V8 from hot rod expert Bill Jaganow, new paint for the body and wheels, and a customized distressed leather interior.
Dave, how are you, sir?
Good. Good.
Good to see you.
Looks like we got another project,
I got another little project for you.
I'm David Throgmorton. I own Throgmorton's Frame Clinic. I've been here for over 40 years.
So what we're gonna do on it, it's pretty basic. We're gonna prep it and paint this British racing green.
Yep.
I wouldn't worry about the engine or anything up front. Normally we would do all the motor work and the interior work before we did paint, but we've got Bill coming out and parts to be delivered early part of next week. I want to get the body part of it knocked out and painted here with Throgmorton, so that way by next week we can have it in the shop and we can start doing the motor tear down literally as soon as the paint's dry. We'll just pull the windshield out, but we'll leave the stems in place. This will get painted green also.
All right.
We'll just pull this off for paint. We'll pull the Nerf bar off for paint. That's pretty much it. The question is, how quickly can you do it?
Well, it's just the man hours that are involved. The smaller it is, then the less hours we're going to be spending. Once we start sanding, I'm going to find out the condition of this body. And I hope I don't get into any surprises like waviness or scratches, things that have to be taken out before the paint goes on. And hopefully we'll get her done in a short period of time.
So we got the track tee back from paint. Normally we wouldn't paint the car until we were done with all the fabrication, and the reason for that is that you're more likely to scratch a car if you're doing work on it after it's been painted. However, on this one I've got a little bit of a time crunch because I wanted to get the paint done before Bill arrives from Detroit. Now where's your belt? What kind of belt are you wearing?
Non-scratch.
You see there's no scratches here?
No scratches.
Okay. I already checked with Jeff to make sure that he was wearing his proper belt. But yeah, the big thing is do not scratch the paint. Scratch the paint now, it really sets us back and creates a big problem.
No scratches.
How come you don't have stickers like that?
No buckle, nothing. Free. So any scratches is not me.
So now the next step is we're gonna remove the seats that's in it, and we're gonna measure and we're gonna modify the seat frame to go from bucket seats to a bench seat. We got a third row bench seat out of a Chrysler minivan. So now we just have to modify it to make it fit properly. We're gonna have to put the bench seat frame in place, bolt it down, take some measurements, and then we're gonna have to cut and adjust so it matches the contour of the body of the car. Let me help you cut? Well, what do you think?
I think that it's too high. I think it should be flush under here.
So I want to match this curve here.
Yeah.
So I want to bring this down 3 inches on both sides and 1 inch in the middle.
Yeah, it
And I want to
needs
make
to
a
be
nice
under.
curve. Yeah. We've got to arc the back and bring the backrest down, and then we can start doing upholstery.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. It needs to be flush.
Right? Yeah.
I thought you were gonna have some kind of curve to the seat, or did you decide not to do that?
Curve to the seat?
Yeah, have it really just
you mean
fit in and
curve in?
curved. Yeah,
You mean curve in here?
yeah.
You know, that's actually a good point. We could do a little bit of a curve there. When we cut these off, I can take these and I can bend a little bit of a curve on both sides, so it makes a little bit of a radius curve.
And then when you look at it, it looks perfect inside the car. It's good. It's coming along.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's all curved here, so I think that will be really much nicer. Perfect. Yeah.
A Chevy V8 engine is a popular option for hot rod enthusiasts because they are easy to upgrade, inexpensive, and widely available. But the Ford Flathead V8 used in this build is a more suitable choice because if rebuilt properly, it will help the car to appraise for a higher value. The track tee has been painted British Racing Green and is now back at the shop ready for interior and engine work. Ralph and Kelly have enlisted the help of renowned engine builder Bill Jaganow to help complete their 1927 Ford Track Tee project.
We got the track tee on the rack this morning, and Bill Jaganow finally arrived from Michigan, and he's going to give us a hand with the flathead, which he is the expert in. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I enjoy working with Bill.
Man, I really like the color, Ralph. Good choice.
Yeah, I like it.
It's gonna turn out good. I'm Bill Jaganow. I run Brothers Custom Automotive in Troy, Michigan. And I came back out here to Southern California because Ralph needs some help with a flathead Ford engine. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how you
Hey,
doing?
good.
The color looks amazing. I like the color. I had a different idea for it, but and I see you picked out some color swatches. Are we doing a child's felt project?
No, those are suede, but
Suede
yeah, we're not doing that.
in a car without a top.
Well, we can do the suede behind the seat and put a nice little panel with some pockets for your sunglasses or your sweater or whatever you want.
I just think it's a bad idea. It's just going to get really dirty
I'm not
and
gonna
collect
pick sides,
dust.
but I agree with you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Okay, so suede
All right.
gone. All right, next.
All right.
Now, this is new.
Yeah.
This is a little light. I thought you were thinking about something a little bit darker.
Yeah,
It's not.
okay.
It's not my favorite. It just
If
looks.
it's not rich enough, maybe you need something else.
And then you had some grommets. You have these.
Yeah, so normally
What
you would
is
have.
up with this?
Well, normally in a carpet you'd have like a little pad where your foot goes, where your heel, it's called a heel pad. I'm gonna use either brass or stainless steel grommets where your heel pad would normally go.
I think it would be great in the heel pad, but I think you might even want to rethink the brass and go with the stainless. And the reason I think that, everything is chrome.
I don't know about the brass ring. It's got to be the stainless.
Yeah. It matches. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, are we good?
Now you got Bill in trouble. He's going to be worried that he might not get a ride home now, how he's going to get to the airport.
So I was here checking out the engine, and Kelly came in, and we're talking about interiors, and I kind of got thrown in the mix because I was in the proximity. So there was like the brass ring with Claude, and then there's the silver and the gold and the color of money, and I'm looking at it with a blank stare like, I have no idea. What am I supposed to do? It really doesn't make a difference what you choose because a woman's always right, man. I mean, you gotta side with the woman.
He wanted these brass grommets. I wanted the silver ones. There is no brass in the car. The whole car's silver. It's all polished and chromed. So why the brass? So luckily Bill was here to help us with our slight disagreement, and he agreed with me. So it's always nice to be right.
It's very exciting.
That's what she does.
And I didn't have to do it.
Perfect. Let's get to opening this stuff up, Ralph. Got some good stuff from Speedway.
Oh, good. I sharpened my knife this morning, so.
So I've known Ralph and Kelly for quite a few years now, and I know how to get along with both of them. It's different. With Kelly, all I do is agree with her, no matter what, hands down. With Ralph, I just get shiny new parts in boxes, and he's pretty happy.
It was almost like Christmas here today. Speedway Motors hooked us up with a whole bunch of parts. So we got carburetors, we got cams, we got lifters, we got a lot of parts that we need for this engine, including the carburetors and air cleaners. So we got a lot of stuff to go through and start putting together this engine. And these are shims, huh?
Those are those horseshoe clips you were talking about.
Clips for the valve train.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like Jesus clips. You know what Jesus clips are?
Tell me.
Jesus, where the hell did that clip go?
So the flathead Ford engine is one of my specialties, but because there are so many different versions of the engine and the parts can be interchanged, I wasn't quite sure what we were gonna have when I got here because you can't look inside of it without taking it apart. And I'm really excited to see what I have and see what we can do with it. All right, last one. Let's have a look, see if they were telling the truth.
It's supposed to have copper head gaskets.
Well, there you go.
It does.
Just like a penny. Here, why don't you take that?
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm gonna take it right over here to the bench.
You know, if you've got a scale, I could see what the stroke is on this and see if you lucked out with a Mercury engine. We're gonna take it from the top. We're gonna see just how deep that piston goes.
Okay.
Okay? It's most likely to have a Ford crankshaft, which is 3 3/4 stroke, unless it's got a more modified crankshaft. So we're gonna drop one of these cylinders down and see what it looks like.
That's it.
Right there.
There it is.
Right there. What do we got?
4. Exactly right on the money. Mercury.
Congratulations. Mercury brand used all of Ford Motor Company's parts on the inside of their engines, with the exception of the crankshaft and the piston. That gave them an additional 10 horsepower. Now we'll check the camshaft after pulling the intake manifold off and having a look if it has adjustable lifters and see just exactly where we're at with it. Undo the honors.
Sure.
All right. Oh, good. Oh, this is very good. You've got adjustable lifters and new valve springs and shims and everything. This is excellent news.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see the adjustable lifters in here because it's going to save us like a dozen hours to pull this all apart, drill them safely, clean everything, replace the camshaft, replace the lifters, adjust the lifters, put the valve train back together. It's like a whole day's worth of work. So we're gonna take the intake manifold now, take it apart, we're gonna send it out, get it polished up so it's like mirror, and put the new carburetors on it. Hey, Ralph, you want to check this out?
Yeah.
So I pulled off the old water pump and raised the engine to do so, and this motor mount came with it. So that can't be, so we're gonna have to weld that back the way that it was. Usually there's a tab that this would be welded to, but whoever built this did it this way, and since the other side is still okay, it'll be faster for us just to repair this one in a little bit of a stronger fashion. So I'll get to that, grab my mask and gloves, and knock it out. Yeah. Jeez. Come on, man. This is just like haywire. When I went to go use the welder, that welder is like an antique welder.
Stop. My welder's a little bit temperamental. It needs some work just because it's old and it's been used for a long time.
That welder is, I don't know, man. This is like just not, it's been bad for a long time, and it's not getting any better.
It's always difficult when somebody else comes and uses your equipment that you're used to using, and his works one way and mine works another way. Let me try, you want to do it?
You can try. Go right ahead.
Bill, if he had his way, he would throw that thing in the dumpster. But there's nothing wrong with the welder. It does need some work, but it does work. And sometimes you just need to have a really light touch on that trigger, and once you get used to it, it actually welds quite well.
Great.
Looks good?
Yep. Thanks for doing my job.
It's temperamental.
Here, I'll just... See, Ralph thinks that his welder is fine. He's been using it forever, and it has like this fine touch that only he knows, but I just think it's a piece of Hey, Jeff, check it out. Just got it back from the polisher.
Cool.
You did a great job, man.
Awesome, man.
I'm gonna replace these two old leaky carburetors from 1937. I'm gonna put on brand new ones. They have brand new seals, brand new gaskets. All the actuation is in stainless steel. They're way more precise than these old worn out ones. Well, I got the carburetors all tightened down, synchronized, and attached to each other. And that's the time to get this thing on there and get the heads bolted up.
The Ford Model T became an ideal platform for a hot rod because of its simplicity and excellent power-to-weight ratio. Due to their popularity, replica Model T fiberglass bodies began being used in the 1950s to keep up with demand. The 1927 Ford Track T engine overhaul is complete and is up and running. Now Ralph and his team have to focus on finishing the custom interior.
So we're gonna put the head studs in, then I'm gonna put the head gasket on, and we'll put the heads on and start putting the washers and the acorn nuts on, and then we'll torque them. So Pedro, put in the head studs, top row first, longest. There are two middle of the road ones down here, which I'll show you, and then the lower level is all the shortest ones, okay?
Oh.
So we had a really productive day today. I was able to get the heads on, the head studs in, the head gaskets on, the intake manifold bolted up, and the water pumps on, motor mounts welded on, and I got a lot done today. So Ralph, I got everything installed, everything's wired with the ignition and everything. I want you to crank it, and then I'll make sure I'm in the zone with the timing, but it might fire right up.
Okay, let's see.
Let's give it a shot and see what happens. So at first, when I tried to get it to start, I had hooked the coil up, but I didn't hook the distributor up. So it was just a small, stupid thing. All right.
Ready?
Try it again.
Just like that. Don't run it for too long. Water. Kill it? Oh, you did, but we're good. All the rest is just little stuff. Good day. It was a good day. Right on, man. Awesome. It was a long day of putting everything together. Whenever you're putting a bunch of new parts together in a car that old, a lot of times things don't line up perfectly and some adjustments need to be made. That's always the case. But it looks like now it fired, so the rest of it should be pretty easy from this point forward. So Pedro finished the bottom of the seat, and that fits perfectly. But now we've got to do the backrest. And I wasn't happy with the straight right angles that the backrest was set at. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a curve so it matches the back of the body of the car. So I'm going to make it shorter on the sides, and I'm going to make it curved in the back. So it should match the contour of the seat. Once it's upholstered, it'll look like it came that way in the car.
We're making a few adjustments to put the seat in. We had to pre-drill some holes on the carpet part, and then make sure everything lines up, and then we're going to start putting it in the seat.
Let's tilt it up. Let's take it off the jack stands, and then we'll take it for a test drive.
The wheels are loose.
You gotta tighten the wheels.
No, you tighten it?
Yeah, I did the impact with that, but we didn't torque them down.
We'll torque them, but we'll have to get it off. Let's clean up around it. I'll get the torque wrench.
Yeah. When you tie the wheels? When?
This morning, with the impact.
You sure?
With the impact, yes. I did it this morning.
I never see you.
But you were busy doing something else. So I came today, got the torquing gun, and impact all the nuts, and that was it. I was done. But apparently, Joel didn't see me do it, so there was some kind of question if I did it or not.
Not even close to tight.
I use the impact gun.
You have it in the wrong setting.
Okay, I probably had it in the wrong setting, but I did torque it down. Don't get me rolling, brother.
Torquing the wheel bolts is a day one apprentice. Anybody who works on cars needs to know how to use a torque wrench. And torquing wheel lug bolts is for sure an easy way to get somebody killed.
Yeah, what happened this morning? You used a gun?
Yes.
Maybe the wire was low.
I don't know. I don't know what, but I did.
Why?
Did you use it?
Why you have to be sure? You cannot leave a tire like that.
He's not gonna drive it out without torquing it first, okay? Plain and simple. Right?
No.
Yes.
I might if you told me that you already torqued it. If those lug bolts, even if they're just somewhat snug, not tight, what can happen is at higher speed, vibration will cause those bolts to vibrate out, and you'll lose bolts one at a time until you lose the whole wheel. That's why Jeff had to sit passenger with me on the test drive, because if it was going to mess up, I wanted Jeff to be present.
I would like to go to a test drive, but when I saw the wheels loose, I sent my friend Jeff.
The 1927 Ford Track T Roadster is complete. It received an overhauled Ford Flathead V8 engine, a brand new British racing green paint job, along with matching wheels, and a custom distressed leather interior.
Oh, no. Oh, my Lord. So Ralph brought me in today to look at the 1927 Ford, which is something completely out of his wheelhouse, but a whole bunch of fun.
This engine is the original flathead engine, except for this is as tuned of a flathead as you're going to get, short of having a supercharger or nitrous on it.
How many horsepower?
About 200.
About 200 horsepower. The joys of a flathead.
This was the car to have on the drag strip because it's a really lightweight Roadster. There's not much to it, and it's a kick in the pants to drive. It'll light up the tires like you won't believe.
So it's got a Ford flathead, but then he takes it to the next level, makes it chrome, paints it up, makes it look beautiful as an engine, and then has the right people come and touch it to make it the Ford flathead. Wow, oh, I love the interior. Look at this.
You like that?
This is awesome. This is great. The padding
we
down here is
did
fantastic.
we did really high-end distressed leather. This is actually a modern folding seat. It's got a little pocket in the back.
The green interior is beautifully done. The seat stitching is gorgeous. The leather material is wonderful. And it's just a great, fun car.
Let me fire it up for you.
I'd love to hear it. Oh, yes. Oh, that'll wake you up more than your cappuccino maker. It's a lot of fun, and it's a little tongue-in-cheek, and I think that will come across. Value-wise, customized cars are always very, very difficult to value because it's such a personal thing. It's so hard to appraise these things because it's also based on people's taste. How will it appeal to people who want that car in those colors with those components? But I think a fair market value, and probably a fairly conservative one, is in the region of $50,000 to $60,000.
I was hoping for a number of around 40 grand. Nick came in with a number of around 60,000, which makes me happy because you know, it means that we've done our job correctly and we really added some value to it by putting that engine in that car. And at the end of the day, it's a good build, and there's some equity in the build as well.
With the interior, engine, and paintwork complete, the 1927 Ford Track T is ready for delivery.
Whoa, wow.
We finished up the Track T. We're just doing the final wipe down on it. So I called my friend Claude and asked him to come by and take a look and see what he thought of the car.
Wow, this is amazing.
It looks a little different than when you first saw it, huh?
Now we got the bling bling on a motor.
Let me tell you about this motor. This has got a Mercury crank in it, all the best hot rod stuff. And then I had a guy, Bill Jaganow from Detroit, come out specifically just to build this motor.
Amazing. I was amazed what I walked in to see. It was everything that I asked for, the green, the wheels, the motor was polished chrome. It's awesome.
We paint matched the body with that British racing green. We did the wheels to match.
Yep.
We even did the grille. I think he was pretty impressed. He liked the color. He liked the way the car looked. I think that now the big deciding factor is how he feels about it after he drives it.
Wow, I love it. I love it, man. Let's take this thing on a test drive, shall we?
Ready to take it out?
I'm ready.
Let me pull it out of the shop, and then we'll take it for a little drive.
Okay, sounds good. One of the main reasons why I like this car was the visibility. It highlights you to be seen. It's strong, it's nimble, but it's classy. The only thing I can't wait to do is get in there and drive it. Oh, this isn't bad. This is nice.
Yeah. You can give it a little more throttle.
This moves, man. This is a good car.
Yeah, it'll go when you want it to.
These seats are very comfortable. This seat, wow.
Yeah, it's cool. Memory foam.
Yeah.
In really, really high-grade leather.
Right. I'm really impressed. I'm extremely impressed.
Mike. Whoa! You okay?
Yeah. Ooh.
Pull over to the side. Ooh. You blew a hose. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I got it right in my mouth. Just when Claude was finally getting acclimated to the car and having fun, it blew one of the upper radiator hoses and spewed coolant all over the place. You know, this is one of the drawbacks of having a car this old, is you never know what's going to fail. And even though everything is new, you can still have a failure.
It didn't feel too good. It burnt a little bit. I didn't know what was going on, and I kept my composure just like I do in the boxing ring. I mean, I actually deal with worse things in the ring, so this was nothing, just a little bit of coolant. It's no big deal.
I didn't come equipped with any tools or any equipment, nor did I come equipped with any coolant. I think the plan is we'll have to call Primos and have them pick it up and take it to the shop. What happened was I built up a little bit of pressure on the right side cylinder head, and because that manifold is polished and brand new, the surface is just too smooth. And then the silicone hoses are very smooth by nature on the inside. You know, it's like trying to put your foot down harder on ice. Doesn't matter how hard you put your foot down, you're gonna slip.
I'm actually not really too disappointed. You know, I'm glad it happened now. And then the last thing I wanted was for me to take the car, then it happened. It was awesome. The car drives smooth, considering it's almost 100 years old. I actually like the fact that the steering is the way it is. It's kind of like a little workout. I mean, the car's nice. Like, I like the attention that I was getting. I like the way that the motor's chrome. I actually really like the car.
Now it needs to be fixed. We'll put in the time, we'll fix it, go again.
I'm looking forward to Ralph getting it back up and running and that not happening again. Hopefully Ralph will give me a discount.